Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm going to start with this clip. This is an interesting clip by this guy, and he talks about the potential of the Ripple case going to the Supreme Court.
So I think the Ripple case, like all of these cases, they all do boil down to the same question, which is, are these things securities? And so I think it will have really significant precedential value. That being said, I don't know if they're all consolidated into the same, court. And so you could easily have split courts.
Yeah, sure.
That's number one. Number two, no matter what happens, these decisions are getting appealed.
For sure.
So yeah. I think we're in for a pretty long road here.
Do you think the end of the road is the Supreme Court?
I think so. Look, I think there's,
I think that part of it could go to the Supreme Court, but I think you're going to get I'm betting that XRP itself not a security, XRP in the secondary market not a security, and then some of it maybe goes to the Supreme Court. I don't know which parts.
Remember, the Supreme Court doesn't have to hear anything.
Right.
So unless there's a circuit split, not to do like civil procedure on people, and I'm not a lawyer, right? But unless two senior federal courts, so, district, circuit, Supreme, unless two different circuit courts come to different positions, there's actually no obligation for the Supreme Court to hear anything. And so I think that it will go all the way up to the lip of the Supreme Court. Now, whether the Supreme Court decides to let the Howey test stand, or whether it decides that it needs to hear this one in that context, I think is TBD. And the reason I think it's important to note this is that the Howey test is pretty well written.
Yeah.
Right? And it's been pretty flexible, and it's been applied to a lot of different cases. And each time the Supreme Court has mostly decided not to rewrite it. So if the Supreme Court were to decide, hey, we kind of like the Howey test, it's in some ways like it's worth reading. It's kind of a very articulate, flexible, strong framework. And courts, even if you just restate it, you're going to restate it with different words. If you restate it with different words, you're actually creating new law.
You're changing it, right?
And so that's where I don't know where this will go. I think it for the crypto side to win, it will have to go to the Supreme Court. Because I think if the Supreme Court, if let's say a circuit court decides to rewrite the Howey test in some way so that so many crypto assets are not securities, I actually think what will happen is the Supreme Court will not let that stand. I think they will, decide to kind of rewrite it. If on the other hand, the SEC wins at the circuit court, then there is an option for the Supreme Court to basically say, well, the Howey test is good law. Circuit court applied it. We don't need to rewrite it at this.
Interesting stuff. Now, by the way, I have yet another Promethium CEO bombshell I'm about to drop. But first, let's watch this interesting clip from Elon Musk.
If done right, the X would serve people's financial needs to such a degree that over time it would become, maybe half of the global financial system.
Wow.
Or some big number.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the number is, but pretty big. So it would be by far the biggest sort of financial institution. But like I said, not really in the way that people are used to thinking about banks. Just the most efficient database for the thing that is money. Like I said, least amount of fraud. Everything's real time. And if it involves money in any way, it can be dealt with seamlessly on one location. And then in addition, you've got the sort of social media element, which is also information. It's people sharing information of various kinds, whether it's text, video, pictures, voice, and so so both money and what we call social media are really information exchange. And I think there's potential there to make a product that is really quite compelling, that combines all these things, simplifies people's lives, is more, cost efficient for the average person. Mm-hmm. So, you don't have a minimum number of fees and whatnot. So, so I think there's just a lot of potential to create some, like the ultimate app or system, website, whatever.
He very matter of factly just said that, oh yeah, it could possibly be the, maybe the second, one of the largest financial institutions in the world. Twitter, X, is what he wants to turn it into. Check this out from Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. This is a Sullivan Cromwell, Jay Clayton's firm, report from September 2018, where they basically, just a lot of the stuff they're saying here is not even true. XRP, the coin, is issued by Ripple. XRP is a coin issued by Ripple. No, it was issued by OpenCoin as a digital asset for payments. It is a token used to carry out cross-border, cross-currency payments through the Ripple network. It was issued by a single company, Ripple, no, OpenCoin, for use in Ripple's business and does not use blockchain technology. Okay. Ripple issued 100 million tokens and has stated that it will not issue more. It currently holds a substantial portion of the issued XRP in escrow. Its market capitalization is slightly less than that of Ether. Now, break out the popcorn. That's a thumbnail. Thank you, James Rule. Break out the popcorn is right, because James Rule, I guess he found this, is he found on the SEC's website, there's a Promethium slideshow on the SEC website. Now, I went through this, and what I found most interesting is on the issuer pipeline, they do show that Wang Zhang blockchain is on the slide, but they don't really go into any explanation the way that guy did in the video I put out this weekend of how involved and how Wang Zhang and all of their affiliates are going to be able to issue crypto on this platform. China. Unlike ETHgate, everyone is interested in digging up Promethium bodies, but will they call themselves conspiracy theorists? Yeah, exactly. Well, here, I'll make a point on a lot of these same people that ignored us for years on the ETHgate thing, they are perfectly willing to talk about Promethium, and they want to go all through that. Here's one of them, Jake Travinsky. Here's another one, is actually, it's Cameron Winklevoss is another one. Let's look right here. Well, if I can get to it. And like clockwork, Gary Gensler went on record today with Wall Street Journal saying some have actually registered, and there's a path forward here. That the sum he's referring to is Promethium, a crypto company that has failed to launch a product in 6 years. Now, what's interesting is that I think that these are intertwined. Listen to this. This is the Promethium CEO, and this thing is already blown up. This thing's already got, 21,000 views. This is the Promethium CEO saying that he was in the room at the Ethereum ICO.
We were in the room, like when they were, obviously we weren't part of the project, but when you could have bought ETH in the ICO for 19 cents a pop. At the time, I thought it was a security. Like, who's right? I don't think it matters in that sense. Those guys did really well. They built awesome projects and awesome product, etc. But at the same time, like, it's validating there, but also you missed opportunities because you believed in regulation from the first place.
Right. So he thought it was a security, right? Okay. IMF has plans for a new international payments platform powered by CBDCs, and it's far from the crypto dream. Then Christina Georgieva said IMF is working hard on developing global infrastructure for seamless interoperability of digital currencies issued by central banks. And then she also stressed that the CBDC should be backed by assets, added that cryptocurrencies are an investment opportunity when backed by assets, but when they are not, they're speculative investment. Then Jack the Rippler put this out today. Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta calls XRP a wholesale settlement coin right here. And I don't know if this is a new discovery, but it's the first time I've seen it, I think. Ripple provides various services via the use of its native token XRP, which is roughly envisioned as an international payment medium or wholesale settlement coin. I think that's what the IMF said as well. And finally, after BlackRock ETF application, Fidelity rumored to buy Grayscale to compete with BlackRock. JP Morgan, Vanguard, Alliance, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, everyone will join. Top 10 asset managers of the U.S. combined have 40 trillion worth of assets. They are coming. Well, I've been saying this for a long time. And the truth is that Gary Gensler is probably sitting there going, please come as soon as possible so that I can get out of this, if I had to bet. I'm a digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that they are coming. Thanks for listening.